Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe, as always. So the big question is, do you think Icardi from Inter Milan or Juventus' Paul Dybala would be a good summer signing for Manchester United to replace Romelu Lukaku? Because as we all currently know, obviously Man United are looking to bring new additions to the club in the summer, to get us back to competitive elite level football club, as I did mention. Obviously, of course, we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in. I still don't think we're fully sure who the next Manchester United manager is going to be on a full-time basis, because, Mauricio Pochettino, does keep getting mentioned. But reports are saying that Solskjaer's going to have a say in this summer on our transfer plans, because reports did say last week Man United were reportedly going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. So as I have identified to you, there's key areas where we do need to strengthen up. So we do need a strong central defence. We need someone on that right-hand side, and potentially we probably need a centre defensive midfielder then that's fast and tenacious, as I said, because we do expect departures in the summer, as I currently said. But what was going on, as I do keep updating you, as I updated you on a regular basis yesterday, Man United are reportedly interested in bringing in this summer either Inter Milan's Icardi or Juventus's Paulo Dybala. So reportedly Manchester United are looking to sell Romelu Lukaku, and we've identified our replacement as of either Man United getting Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan, as I said. So reports did mention yesterday that Man United are looking to sell Romelu Lukaku in the summer in order for us to either land Paul Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan. So looking to sell Romelu Lukaku in the summer, because obviously Romelu Lukaku has lost his place in the starting 11, as I currently said, because obviously since Solskjaer took the reins at Manchester United, you can see the vast improvements, as I said, in the majority of the players in the team. But as I'm saying, in Lukaku, he's lost his place in that 11, because obviously we know that Marcus Rashford has obviously been first choice in that central attacking position, because Rashford's improving, and he's always been a good United player. He's been United player since the age of 7. He's progressing up the ranks fantastically well as Marcus Rashford. He's been in the senior squad as well, since 2016. But since Solskjaer's coming, he's playing more of a key role. He looks very, very effective centrally. He's growing, he's developing, he's flourishing. I think he's scoring more goals. His finishing's improving as well as Marcus Rashford. But we know mainly under Solskjaer that his first choice attacking trio, he mainly goes with Martial on the left, Rashford centrally, and Lingard on the right, as I currently said. Solskjaer wants to get the job on a permanent basis. Lukaku's days would be numbered at Manchester United, as I currently said. I don't think Manchester United will recoup the £75 million we initially paid for him from Everton, but I've got strong reservations about him. He's too slow. He's got no pace about him, as I currently said, obviously, and his first structures concern me. And what obviously Rashford can offer up front, Lukaku's not capable. It's maybe now, due to some injuries we've got, Lukaku may feature, he may get a bit more game time now. As I currently said, Lukaku, now we've got some injuries to Martial, Lingard and all that. But as I did currently say, his form has been slightly rejuvenated since Solskjaer's come in, and when he has been given the opportunities, which he's been mainly coming on as a substitute. But reportedly, yes. So I think Man United are preparing to sell him in the summer for us to make a move for Paulo Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan, as I currently said. Of course, it did break out yesterday that the Italian press reportedly it could be involved in a swap deal. So the Italian press did say yesterday that Man United have been in talks with both Juventus and Inter Milan over a potential Romelu Lukaku swap deal. I'll be a bit more specific. This means Man United are willing to offer Lukaku as part of the deal of us either getting Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan. Lukaku has indicated that he does prefer the move to Juventus, as he has currently explained, because we heard the narrative about this last year that he was linked with Juventus, Romelu Lukaku, but he's still a proven goal scorer in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku. He's done it throughout his playing career in the Premier League. I still think he's 25, 26 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, but he's too slow. He's Romelu Lukaku, as I said. But he's indicated he does prefer the move to Juventus. Man United are aware that we know that both Paul Dybala and Icardi are both valued at around the staggering £100 million, because obviously they are the biggest names in Italian football, as I said. And obviously now Paulo Dybala is out of favour at Juventus. He's out of favour at Juventus, this season. And Icardi is out of favour at Inter Milan as well, because it's just mentioned about Icardi that he just recently lost the captain's armband. But they're really, really good players, and I think they're on somewhere on the lines. They're on the sort of same level, Icardi and Paulo Dybala, because they're both 25 years of age, as I said. They're both Italian. They're they're both 25 years of age. Sorry, they're both Argentinian. Sorry, should I say? They're both prolific goal scorers, as I said. So which one would you choose? I think in relation to Icardi, very very good player. His release clause is around £100 million. I think is Icardi's. Since he's been in Milan, he's grown and developed fantastically well. He has been in Milan since 2013. He's scored over 100 odd goals. He's currently Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time. Is Icardi as well. But his release clause, I think, is around £100 million, as I said. And also too, I think he used to play in Barcelona youth system. That's where he began his youth career with Barcelona. Then had an began his professional career with Sampdoria. Had an impressive season with Sampdoria, and then he's been at Inter Milan since 2013. So this is his 6th season now with Inter Milan. Proven prolific goal scorer. Leads the lines fantastically well. Only 25 years of age, so still got a lot of years ahead of him, as I currently said. So do you think he'd be a great addition, to the Manchester United team, Icardi, if he was to come in? Because as reports do mention that Inter Milan reportedly now unhappy with Icardi, and reportedly looking to cash in for Icardi in the summer. And as reports do mention, they've actually targeted Lukaku as a good replacement for Icardi, as I currently said. The other name that's been mentioned though has been Paulo Dybala, as I currently said. Juventus play Argentinian, 25, just like Icardi. Proven prolific goal scorer again, Paulo Dybala, but he's lost his place in the team this season. He's fallen down the pecking order behind Cristiano Ronaldo and all that, as Paulo Dybala. Man United have held negotiations with Juventus over this is potential Lukaku and Paulo Dybala swap deal, because he's indicated Lukaku that he does prefer the move to Juventus. But in relation to Dybala, he's been at Juventus since 2015, so I think this is what his 4th season, with Juventus. He's of course an ex-Parma role player, is Paulo Dybala as well. But as I did say, he's a very very good player. His finishing's good. He's an efficient finisher, as I said. Dad, what are you doing? Yeah. As I currently said in relation to Paul Dybala. So reportedly, Manchester United have been in talks with both Juventus and Inter Milan over potential Lukaku swap deal. Being more specific means willing to offer Lukaku either way as part of the deal of us either getting Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan. But they are proven prolific goal scorers. He's got a fantastic pedigree of scoring loads and loads of goals, and I think they'd be a great addition, in our attacking business. Putting one of them alongside Rashford and Martial and Lingard, it'd look fantastic indeed. And we are aware that we do need new additions to come into the club in the summer if we are going to be potentially, title contenders. As I currently said, so Man United are looking to cash in for Lukaku in the summer, because obviously he's lost his place in the starting 11, as I currently said. So obviously other news to give you an update on as well. I do want to give you an update on that. There's been news going on about Mauricio Pochettino again in the media, mentioning that reportedly Manchester United are willing to pay, are prepared to pay a huge compensation fee for Mauricio Pochettino, because obviously we know he's been linked to with a Man United job, for a long time as Mauricio Pochettino, as I did currently say. He obviously signed a new 5-year deal with Tottenham Hotspur last summer, worth around 8 points a year, something like that. But as reports do mention, it did say if Man United are to turn their intentions of recommending Pochettino at the end of the season, Man United are willing to pay around £34 million if we are to turn our intentions on recommending Pochettino as our next boss. As it does currently stand at the moment, I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the favourite to set the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, based on his fantastic progression so far, because it did come out last week that reportedly the board, it'd been revealed that the board had made a decision that Solskjaer will be named Manchester United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. It did say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ed Woodward had come to an agreement on it. This is obviously, the board feels though that Solskjaer can elevate us forwards, push this team forwards and get us to that commanding position now we do currently want to be in, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer so far, we've won 10 out of 12 in all competitions, we've won 8 in the league, we've won 6 away from home in all competitions, we've scored 28 goals in the process, and obviously he's done well since he's come to United. He's got us in the top 4 for the time since the opening day of the season, because when Solskjaer came in, of course we was 11 points behind top 4, as I currently said. But I still think Solskjaer remains number 1 at the moment. But obviously that bad defeat we had to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, if we don't beat Chelsea tonight in the Cup and we don't beat, Liverpool and all that, questions will be asked, and then Manchester United may start turning their attention, on Mauricio Pochettino, as I said. as I currently said. But I still think, Solskjaer's the right man for the job because he's got the fluidity back into the team, the intensities in the team, and as I did say, he's got the confidence back in the team, he's got the team motivated, he's got the team playing in the right way, in the right manner, and I think he does have that attacking philosophy, and he does like the way does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So for me, he knows everything about the club, he knows the strappings of the club, and his managerial style suits the club because he was a great player, for 11 years was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He won loads and loads of trophies, scored loads and loads of goals, and obviously watched some of these players, grow and develop in the reserve team as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I still think he's the favourite to get the job on a full-time basis. Obviously, if Man United had to get him full-time on a full-time basis, Solskjaer on a full-time basis, obviously we'll have to pay an additional fee of around £7-8 million, to mould. Obviously, at the moment, we've paid £1.8 million to mould, to get Solskjaer on a temporary basis, as I couldn't said. But so far, his progression has been fantastic indeed. So I still think at the moment, it remains that Solskjaer is favoured to get the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis, as I currently said. But he knows everything about the club, and I do think he's the right man for the job, as I currently said. But as I did say, he's going to have a big say in the summer. We're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. Obviously, we've got a board that can invest in what currently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants. But the next few games, will be crucial, as I said. But reports are coming out in relation to Pochettino. In relation to Pochettino, to be fair, he's done a really, really good job with Tottenham. If I'm going to be quite honest, He's done a really, really good job with Tottenham as Mauricio Pochettino, as I said. But the problem is he hasn't won out in terms of silverware. And obviously, as we all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be a cheaper alternative. Solskjaer would be a cheaper alternative of us getting Solskjaer than us getting Mauricio Pochettino. Because as we all aware, Mauricio Pochettino would cost us around £34 million. And obviously, I don't think he's going to leave Tottenham anyway. I think he's fully committed to Tottenham. He's happy at Tottenham, as I said, because obviously Daniel Levy has obviously been standing firm over this. And I don't think Daniel Levy will let Mauricio Pochettino leave anywhere. But he did say Man United could pay a huge compensation fee to prize him away. He signed a 5-year deal last summer worth about 8.5 million. Yeah, but he's a good manager at Tottenham. He's done very, very well with Tottenham. This is his 7th season, I think, now in the Premier League. All in all, he's been managing since 2009 as Pochettino. He's done a really, really good job with Tottenham. Getting them second place finishes, getting them third place finishes, looking like they're going to be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League after beating Borussia Dortmund 3-0 in the first leg. This season. Got them to the last 16 of the Champions League last season, as I currently said. But the problem is he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, Mauricio Pochettino, as I said. But he's good at growing and developing young players. Tottenham have only spent £50 million since 2014, of course. So the transfer policy has been very, very poor, since Pochettino got recommended in 2014. But when he was at Southampton, he had a short tenure at Southampton, but he did good at Southampton. He got them an 8th place finish, their highest ever finish. Southampton, when Pochettino was managing them. But obviously, throughout Pochettino's, when he was playing, I think he actually played for Newell Old Boys. He played for Espanyol. He played for Paris Saint-Germain, and he did currently play for Bordeaux. Throughout his playing career, Mauricio Pochettino. But he is a good manager. But the problem is he hasn't won out in terms of silverware. Tottenham are still in there with a shout, this season for the league. I doubt it very much because obviously they're still doing very, very well considering they've got Kane out, Dele Alli out. They're two main stars in that team. So Mauricio Pochettino's done a very, very good job, as I said. But I just don't think he's got any intentions of coming to Manchester United as Mauricio Pochettino. Obviously, since he's been Spurs manager, I think he's won over 100 odd games. But we know for a long, long time he's been Ed Woodward's number one target as Mauricio Pochettino. But I think as it stands at the moment, Solskjaer is still the favourite to get the job. But if we don't beat Chelsea tonight, if we don't beat Liverpool, then questions will be asked. Obviously, we do want to succeed in the FA Cup, hopefully. Of course, we do want to get in that top 4 this season as well, so we can get Champions League for next season as well. But Solskjaer's done a really, really good job since he's come into the club. He's got the team motivated, he's got the confidence in the team. You can see that, he's rejuvenated the whole team mainly. Pogba is playing absolutely fantastic. He's getting the freedom to express himself. He's Paul Pogba, he's scoring, he's providing, he's playing them delicate passes through. He's providing good service, to the front man as well. So definitely Paul Pogba's, form has been definitely rejuvenated, as I currently said. And I've been very, very impressed with Paul Pogba. And it's a shame he's going to miss the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain, as I currently said. So I've been impressed with him, and I've been impressed with Marcus Rashford's progression. He's been playing a key role, as I said earlier on, in the team. He's been scoring, providing, his finishing's improved, as well as Marcus Rashford is young, and he'll grow and develop and get better and better and better. And it would be, ideal for us to recommend maybe a couple of young players to come in the summer, that could grow and develop under Ole Gunnar Gunnar Solskjaer, if he's still going to be the manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season as well. I've also been impressed, with Anthony Martial's progression as well. He's only very, very young. I've been very, very impressed with Anthony Martial. He creates that width on that left-hand side. He scores, he provides. There's Anthony Martial as well, and he's very, very good on the left-hand side. And obviously, Manchester United know how much of a big miss he's going to be tonight for Chelsea, because obviously, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed, that obviously Anthony Martial obviously Anthony Martial and both Jesse Lingard are out for a couple of weeks, so they're going to miss tonight. They're going to miss Liverpool as well. And obviously they're very, very young in the generation. The progression's been fantastic as Martial's and Lingard's. And Lingard's looked good on that right. Obviously we know mainly he's been first choice over Mata on that right. And Martial's been very, very good on that left-hand side, as I currently said. So they are going to be a big, big miss. Martial's got a groin injury, I think. Lingard's got a hamstring injury. But as I said, I've been very, very impressed there with Jesse Lingard's progression, as I said. But obviously he's going to rotate a little bit tonight in that attacking position, with the absence of Lingard, with the absence of Martial. It's probably likely Lukaku will start tonight anywhere. It's likely probably Sanchez will start on that left. And in relation to Alexis Sanchez, we know every United fan's been disappointed with him since he's come in. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time since he's come to United. He's been here just over a year. He has suffered, quite a few injuries as Alexis Sanchez, as we all know. But Solskjaer still believes that he can improve Alexis Sanchez when he does get more opportunities. He will get more opportunities now, probably Sanchez, due to the injuries, of Martial and Jesse Lingard, will Alexis Sanchez. But he's not the player that he was at Arsenal. He's currently aging up now. He's 30 years of age. I do think he's lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Alexis Sanchez. There's definitely areas of his game he does need to adapt, and if there's no improvement in his game, he could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. But Sanchez on the left, Mata on the right, you can see that the bags of pace is knocked out of the team because they haven't really got any pace anymore. Mata's aging up. Mata can actually play as an attacking mid, but obviously that's mainly Paul Pogba's position. So when he does play, mainly plays on the right. But Juan Mata has a dig currently same relation to Juan Mata. I think he's too slow now. I do think he's still a very, very consistent player, and I think he's always been a consistent player for Manchester United since we got him in 2014. This is his fifth season now with Man United. We got him from just under £40 million from Chelsea. Of course, this is his fifth season, as I said. He's won everything in the Premier League apart from the Premier League, and that's the only thing he hasn't won, Juan Mata. But I think he's a bit slow now. He's Juan Mata, to be quite honest with you. Doesn't really have that pace anymore. So I think he has lost a yard of pace as well as Juan Mata, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. As we know, Manchester United have been in talks of getting Juan Mata a new 1-year extension, as we all know. He's keen on a 2-year deal, but Man United are only willing to offer him a 1-year extension, considering that he's age 30 now. He's Juan Mata, as I currently said. But throughout his playing career, he's been good. Obviously when he was a lot younger in his prime, had a lot of experience of playing in Spain. Did Juan Mata, with Real Madrid and Valencia. He actually used to play under Remre at Valencia, for 4 years. Did Juan Mata, as I said. So I do think he'll rotate in that attacking position tonight with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He'll obviously stick with the midfield trio of Herrera, Matic and Pogba, because obviously look very, very effective and they complement each other, very, very well, as I currently said. And in relation to Herrera, I think his progression's been good as a Manchester United player under Herrera. I think he's always been a consistent player, since we got him from Atletico Bilbao. So since we got him in the Van Gaal, I think he's always been a consistent player. But I think since especially Solskjaer's come in, his form's been rejuvenated. He's playing more regular in the team. He's playing more from the start, and I think he's fitting in the team very, very well now. He's under Herrera alongside Matic and Paul Pogba, and he's good at breaking up the play. And hopefully somewhere along the lines we can agree a new contract term as well under Herrera, because Manchester United, of course, have been in talks of getting Ander Herrera a new deal as well. We know, obviously, as I did say, we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, because I did say in relation, to Matic, he's very, very slow. I've got strong reservations about him, but I think his performances have improved, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. I do know that he's slow, but I think his distribution's improved. I think he's galloping forward more. I think his passing's improved as well. So he has slightly improved as Nemanja Matic, but now, as it does stand with Matic, Herrera and Pogba in that midfield, we have got a good ball play. We've got good ball playing midfielders, but I'm still aware that we do need a strong centre defensive mid that's fast and tenacious. And defensively, I've been very, very impressed with Victor Lindelof this season. I think his progression has been fantastic this season as a Manchester United player. Last season struggled, but I think this season his performances have really, really improved. He's showing that determination. He can play out from the back. He's galloping forward more. His passing's improved. His distribution's improved, and Victor Lindelof's really, really improved this season. I think him and Bailly, look very, very good together as a centre back partnership. Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly. They look very, very good as a centre-back partnership, as I said, because Bailly's been in and out of the team this season, but he's still got great potential. I think now he'll get more game time with Eric Bailly, so I think he's Solskjaer's first choice will be Bailly and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, as I said, and they complement each other, as I said. They're building a bond together, they're blending in well together, Lindelof and Eric Bailly, because I do think Lindelof and Bailly are on another level to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, because in relation to Jones and Smalling, I don't really rate them anymore. They've been long servants at this club. Jones has been here a good 7-8 years. Smalling, this is Smalling's ninth season now as a Manchester United player. They did sign new deals early on this season, but as I did say, they could still leave in the summer, as I currently said. And in relation to Marcus Rojo, he's good there as a backup option, but as I did say in relation to Marcus Rojo, he suffers a lot of injuries, so he's injury prone. Obviously, he struggled with his fitness regime as well. So he has so obviously he struggled to get a run of games under his belt as Marcus Rojo, because he suffered a lot of injuries. I think he's still injured, but he has returned back to training as Marcus Rojo. But his versatility at the back's good because he can play in quite a few positions, as I currently said. But I've been impressed with the majority of the team, since Solskjaer's come in. I still believe he's the right man for Manchester United. Reportedly, we're going to get £200 million to spend in the summer. Obviously, we didn't sign any players in January, which was a disappointment. So obviously, we're looking to recruit in the summer. We've obviously got that financial power, to spend big money in the summer anywhere. But reportedly, we're going to get 200 million. We're looking for to hire a director of football to come in as well, to sort all the transfer business out. As I did say, we do expect players to leave as well. We do expect players to leave as well. So in relation, I do expect players to leave, as I said, but in relation, Rojo could leave Manchester United as well. In relation, on that right-hand side, we definitely need that right-hand side of the dressing without a shadow of a doubt, because you've got Ashley Young there, who's 33. You've got Valencia there, who's 33 as well. But in relation, to Ashley Young, is 33 years of age now, as I currently said. Obviously, he's been at Man United since 2011. As I said, we've just recently signed him 1-year extension on his current contract. Ashley Young, we know mainly being first choice right back this season as Ashley Young. But in relation to Ashley Young, as I said, he's past it now as Ashley Young is too old. As I currently said, well, Premier League proven. Obviously, as I did say, he's been our first choice right back. When he was younger, he was mainly a right winger, was Ashley Young. Now and again, we've actually operated Young on that left-hand side. But mainly, we put him at right back, Ashley Young, as I said. But obviously, he's been first choice over Antonio Valencia. But in relation to Valencia, obviously, he's just suffered another injury, so he's out for a couple of weeks. And I do think he probably will leave Manchester United in the summer because he's hardly played in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he's 33 years of age now. As I said, he's Antonio Valencia. He's been one of the longest servants here. He's been here since 2009. He's made over 300 appearances here. Of course, he's won everything here in the league, just like Ashley Young has as well. So maybe Valencia, may leave Manchester United in the summer because he's, suffered quite a few injuries this season. This is why he hasn't been in contention in the Manchester United team. But he did say Fulham and Newcastle were interested in Valencia, throughout the course of the January transfer window. As I said, so he could leave in the summer. Obviously, we've got Diego Dalot there as one of our right backs who we got last summer, but he's only 19 years of age. He's very, very young. And as I did currently say, guys, in relation, to Dalot, he hasn't really got that experience yet, as I said. But as we all aware, it's going to be a very, very big game tonight, against Chelsea. As we all currently know, as I did say, it's going to be a very, very big game indeed. It is a must-win game, from a Man United point of view. And as you all know now, should know by now, I am a Manchester United fan. And as I did say, Martial and Lingard are going to be bad miss. So it's likely Sanchez is going to be in contention. Probably Juan Mata will be in contention. Solskjaer did mention a few young names. He did mention Mason Greenwood. I think he's just suffered an injury, but he's been doing fantastic for the reserve team. He mentioned Angel Gomez. He mentioned Chong as well, who made his first team debut against Reading in the third round. Well, he came on as a substitute. So he has mentioned a few young players as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we do know how much of a difficult game this is going to be tonight against Chelsea. As I said, I think they've got a few minor injuries as well. Obviously, Chelsea know from themselves they've got problems, as I currently said. But this is the FA Cup fifth round tonight. I think it's a 7:30 kickoff. But obviously, we seldom win at Stamford Bridge because we haven't won there since 2012. So we haven't won there, since the Alex Ferguson era at Stamford Bridge. as we all currently know. So we haven't won at Stamford Bridge, since the Alex Ferguson era, and that was back in 2012. So we haven't won there for 7 seasons, obviously. But Chelsea haven't been in a great run of form, especially away from home against the big teams. They lost at Tottenham this season. They lost at Arsenal this season. They lost at Manchester City. They got annihilated at Manchester City, by 6-0. As I said, so away from home, they haven't been that good. The home form's not too bad because they're beating Arsenal at Stamford Bridge this season. They beat Tottenham in the semi-final, at Stamford Bridge in the second leg as well to progress to the Carabao Cup final. They beat Manchester City at home this season as well, did Chelsea, but away from home they haven't been too good this season. Obviously, reports do say that reportedly the pressure is on the pressure is mounting up on Maurizio Sarri, because obviously before a long time ago he was mentioning about mentality. He was talking about mentality and motivation. Was Maurizio Sarri, and obviously he has that philosophy, and obviously his system worked when he was a Napoli manager, as I said. But it's only Maurizio Sarri's first season as Chelsea manager. I think he signed a 3-year deal last summer. Did Maurizio Sarri, but it's only his first season, as I said. And obviously, of course, Chelsea are known for sacking managers because they have sacked a lot of managers in a short period of time, as I've been discussing with you about that on a regular basis. But reports did mention saying that if Chelsea don't get the top 4 this season, that is a possibility, or it is likely, should I say, that Maurizio Sarri will be sacked as Chelsea manager, and that would be a very, very short tenure indeed. But reportedly, it did say if they don't get the top 4, and obviously if they don't get Champions League for next season, Sarri could be sacked. But obviously Chelsea are hopeful that they can either get the top 4 or obviously progress in the Europa League, win the Europa League, so they can get automatic Champions League qualification for next season, as I previously said. But obviously last season we did lose to Chelsea by 1-0 in the FA Cup final. Eden Hazard scored. Lost them at Stamford Bridge last season 1-0. We did beat them at home 2-1, so we've got a bad record at Stamford Bridge, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of this. He's aware of this, he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Man United and Chelsea have met each other numerous times in the FA Cup, as I've already gone through with you. And obviously Chelsea have obviously got their minds on the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City on Sunday the 24th of February, which is obviously the same, that's this Sunday coming up, should I say. That's obviously the day Manchester United play Liverpool, as I currently said. But as I did say, Chelsea have got problems. Obviously, there's still key areas in Chelsea's squad, potentially, where they do basically, need to strengthen up. Bobby Gary Cahill's obviously been constantly left out of the squad this season. He was linked to a move away in January, so it's likely he'll probably leave in the summer. As I do keep saying, David Luiz's contract is up in the summer as well. He's obviously aging up, and Chelsea aging up. Obviously, Chelsea have got quite a few aged up players as well. Chelsea, from their perspective, probably know that they need a fullback. Obviously, they'll be disappointed that they didn't get a replacement for Cesc Fabregas, in the January window. So Chelsea will be planning to get a replacement for Fabregas in the summer. Obviously, as well, definitely even in relation to Eden Hazard as well. It's likely he will go to Real Madrid in the summer. So if he goes in the summer, Chelsea are obviously going to have to find a replacement for Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard is one of Chelsea's best players without a shadow of a doubt. His progression's been good. He's grown and developed fantastically well. His progression's been good. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He makes good runs. His time of his runs are fantastic. His finishing's absolutely fantastic as well as Eden Hazard. And he's been at Chelsea since 2012. So this is his 7th season with Chelsea. Of course, he scored over a century of goals. He's made over 300 odd appearances for Chelsea. I think this is in all competitions. His current deal does end in 2020. As reports do say, Chelsea have been negotiations trying to tie him down to a new contract. Reportedly, there's been no succession in contract negotiations, but reportedly, I think Chelsea are willing to sign him a new contract, are willing to offer him a new contract, and I think Chelsea are preparing to give him around £300,000 a week, to convince him to stay at Chelsea. But I think he does intend to make the move to Real Madrid, because he did say last summer he wanted to leave Chelsea last summer after the World Cup, did Eden Hazard, as he did currently explain. As he currently said, but he's still, he's a very, very good player, Eden Hazard. I think he does intend to make the move to Real Madrid in the summer. I think it will cost Real Madrid around at least £100 million, to get him, maybe more than £100 million, because it did say 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, that he did get revealed that he'd made a decision on his future. He didn't publicly announce it. I think it was privately announced that he'd currently made a decision, Eden Hazard, but it's likely he will leave in the summer. So of course Chelsea will obviously want a replacement for him as well. Obviously now Eden Hazard as well anyway should be back in form now. Obviously he's back in his favourite position on that left hand side. Before the Gonzalo Higuain arrival, obviously he wasn't in his favourite role. He was playing in a false number 9 position, as I currently said, was Eden Hazard. But now Higuain's here, he's playing in his favourite position on the left hand side, is Eden Hazard. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game tonight. And obviously, in relation to Callum Hudson-Odoi, is he going to be starting for Chelsea tonight? I'm not too sure, because obviously, I don't think he started a game in the Premier League, from the start. Obviously, due to the lack of game time he's been getting, Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's only 18 years of age. He's very, very young in his prime. He's increasingly become very, very frustrated. And obviously, this is why he put a transfer request in the January window. And he did make it clear he wanted to make the move to Bayern Munich, because in relation to Bayern Munich, they've got quite a lot of aging up players. And obviously, they were recommended. They wanted to get some young players in their team, that could grow and develop and mould. As I currently said, and he indicated that they were strongly interested in Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Callum Hudson-Odoi did want to make the move to Bayern Munich in January. Bayern Munich were in talks with Chelsea. In the process, I think Bayern Munich had 3 bids turned down. I think Bayern Munich did put around 4 or 5 bids in, but Bayern Munich did not succeed. So Bayern Munich, may revive West Ham in the summer. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been a Chelsea player, since the age of 8. I think, because he's progressing up the youth system as a Callum Hudson-Odoi. But Chelsea tried tying him down to a new contract. He currently refused this, but Chelsea were not willing to let him leave throughout the course of the January window. So they were basically standing firm. They were being ruthless, and I think in reality he accepted that he's going to remain at Chelsea. But I think he may intend to go to Bayern Munich in the summer as well, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And it did say Bayern Munich, were willing to offer him the number 10 shirt, as I said. But obviously they could see him as long-term replacement for Arjen Robben, who's obviously likely to leave in the summer, because obviously he's aging up now. Throughout his playing career, he's been a good player, but he's obviously an injury-prone player. He's suffered a lot of injuries, throughout his playing career as well. Arjen Robben, even though he played for Chelsea for quite a lot of years as well. At one point, he was at Chelsea. He suffered a lot of injuries. Arjen Robben, as I currently said. But obviously, it's important that, for Man United's perspective, that we do go there and win tonight. We are gonna miss Martial and Jesse Lingard, but we are capable of going to Stamford Bridge and winning. It was disappointing we didn't beat Paris Saint-Germain, but at least Solskjaer, he praised the opposition of Paris Saint-Germain. He admits they're on another level. He admits that, basically they're a better team. They've got a better squad, with better players, as I said, of PSG, as I quite said. But they're a really, really good team, Paris Saint-Germain. It was disappointing that we didn't take advantage in the Champions League, considering that they currently had injuries, to a couple of their key stars. Neymar's out long-term, a long-term absence. Neymar's out. He's going to probably miss the second leg as well. Thomas Meunier had a concussion with his head injury. Edison Cavani as well was out with some kind of hip injury. I don't know if he's going to be in contention to feature in the second leg or not. I do not know, but it was a disappointing result against Paris Saint-Germain. But every team suffers a defeat. I'm not going to change my opinions on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Maybe, as I did say on the video, questions will be asked if we don't beat Chelsea tonight. If we don't beat Liverpool, if we don't beat Arsenal City in March, then questions are going to be asked. And then Manchester United may then turn their attentions on getting maybe Micho Pochettino in, or maybe, Zinedine Zidane, who got mentioned a while back as well. His name hasn't been mentioned for quite a long time, because we know before he was linked to with the managerial role at Old Trafford as well. Zinedine Zidane, of course, hasn't been managing since May. I don't think he's been managing since May, as I said, but Real Madrid have had problems since Zinedine Zidane's gone. But he's got a very, very good pedigree, Zinedine Zidane. He's never managed English football, but he was very, very good when he was at Real Madrid. He had a great, great squad. He won trophies, Champions Leagues and all that, and he was good as a player, was Zinedine Zidane. But as I did say at one point, there were talks about him coming in, but the rumours have died down about that now. We haven't heard about Zinedine Zidane lately being linked to the Old Trafford job. As I said, it's just mainly mentioned now Solskjaer's the favourite to get the job on a full-time basis, and it's mentioning Mauricio Pochettino, saying that Man United are willing to pay the 34 million to get him in. We're willing to pay a huge compensation fee, it did mention as well. Because he signed a 5-year deal last summer worth about 8.5 million a year. Me, do I want Pochettino? Probably not, because I know he's a good manager, and I praise him for what he's done at Tottenham, because he's done a really, really good job. But the problem is he hasn't won out in terms of silverware as Mauricio Pochettino, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has. So in terms of silverware, Mauricio Pochettino is not proven, as I said. So other news that's been going on anyway, that obviously, who Manchester United, of course, have been linked with, as we all currently know. There's been other players that have been mentioned in the media as well. We know in the past week that Jadon Sancho has been mentioned. There's been a lot of talks about that going on in the media as well. That reportedly Manchester United have showed an interest in Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, only 18 years of age, very, very young in his prime. As Borussia Dortmund have made it clear, reportedly they're demanding that they want around £70 million, if Man United are to get him in the summer. Man United are willing to pay this £70 million, that Borussia Dortmund are demanding for Jadon Sancho, but he can score goals, he can provide, and since he's broke into the Borussia Dortmund first team, his performance very good of Jadon Sancho's, as I said. Obviously, he's had experience of playing in English football before because he spent a couple of years with Manchester City. Of course, he never broke into the first team with Manchester City, and City couldn't guarantee him he was going to be getting into the first team. This is probably the main reason why he left City and he went to Borussia Dortmund, as I said. But he had a couple of years with City. He actually began his youth career with Watford as well, did Jadon Sancho. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund only paid, £7-8 million, so financially, Borussia Dortmund make a huge profit on the player, but Borussia Dortmund still know from their perspective how much of an essential player he is. He is mainly a winger. As I said, he's 18 years of age. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2022, but I think Man United are preparing to put a £70 million bid in for Jadon Sancho in the summer, and I do really like Jadon Sancho, and he's very young in his generation. As I did say earlier on, it would be ideal for us to get some young players to come into the team, as I could say, because we have got quite a few aging up players, but Jadon Sancho, I think, would fit the Manchester United agenda very well. Of course, it did say if Man United are to come to an agreement with Dortmund in the summer, of course, it did say Manchester City will receive around 15% of the transfer fee, considering that City do have a buyback option on the player, because as it did confirm, Manchester City, of course, have inserted a buyback clause in his current contract, because he's now got a current deal with Borussia Dortmund until 2022 as Jadon Sancho's, but he's been in the Borussia Dortmund reserve team before, but since he's got into the first team, his progression's been good. He's grown and developed fantastically well as Jadon Sancho. So would he be interested, of making a move to the Premier League, in the summer and coming to Old Trafford, Jadon Sancho? And as he does explain, it will cost us in the region of around £70 million to get him. But as I did say, Borussia Dortmund have done business now with a few of their young players. They've sold Pulisic £58 million to Chelsea, but he's going to be officially Chelsea player in the new season because, as I did say, he's been loaned back to Borussia Dortmund. And of course, they sold Ousmane Dembele, and he's 21, 22, and he, I think they sold him for around 105, 106 million pounds to Barcelona as well. So Borussia Dortmund are known for doing business. Of course, they sold Aubameyang to Arsenal as well, so they are known for doing business at Borussia Dortmund. But it will take around £70 million, for Manchester United, to get Jadon Sancho, as I said. As I said, but there's been other names that have been mentioned. We know that Benfica young star keeps currently getting mentioned in the media. That Felix, that Benfica youngster, as I currently said, he's only very young in his prime. This Felix, as I said, he's got a buyout clause of around £105 million, so it would take a fee of around at least £100 million, to get Felix in the summer. This Felix, reportedly Manchester United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on the player. Man United scouts have been monitoring him on a regular basis, to be quite fair, because Man United actually may make a move for this Felix in the summer. He's mainly a winger, but he can play in other positions as well, so he is versatile as this Felix. But I did say he's got a buyout clause around £105 million. Broke into the Benfica first team only last year, but since he's broke into the Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very good indeed. But I think a few teams have expressed their interest in him. Liverpool were interested in him back in January. I think Liverpool had around a £61 million bid turned down for Felix, as I currently said. But he's very young. He's 19. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, but there has been talks about that going on in the media as well. So his name has been mentioned as well. Also, too, we know that the rumours were coming out a couple of weeks ago about Douglas Costa. I kept you up to date on in relation about Douglas Costa. I think it's highly unlikely United will go for him in the summer, but there were reports emerging from the media saying that reportedly Manchester United reportedly showed an interest in getting Douglas Costa in the summer. He did say Man United were interested in getting Douglas Costa in the summer, reportedly, because the narrative came out about this sometime last year that Man United reportedly had a £54 million bid Douglas Costa, and reports did come out recently saying that reportedly he liked a Twitter post linking him with a summer move to Old Trafford, Douglas Costa, and Juventus may be opening to selling Douglas Costa in the summer. But Douglas Costa, has enjoyed a difficult season, this season, with Juventus, obviously falling down the pecking order behind the likes of Ronaldo and all that as Douglas Costa. So this season, he hasn't really hit form, but overall he's a good talented player. He's mainly a winger, his dribbling's good, he can put crosses into the box, but reports are coming out saying he could be available 53 million in the summer, something like that. Juventus only got him permanent last summer for £36 million, obviously, from Bayern Munich, because initially before that he was on a 1-year loan with Juventus, and he won the domestic double in his first season as well. But throughout his playing career, he's been a very good player. When he was young in his prime, he had 5 good years with Shakhtar Donetsk. He won trophies in that with Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, he had a good couple of years with Bayern Munich as well. He won a couple of titles with Bayern Munich, and in his first season, I've just said, you know, he won the domestic double with Juventus, as I said. But he is a very, very good player, as I said. But there were rumours going on about that a week or two ago that Man United were considering making a summer move for Douglas Costa. As I currently said. But yeah, very, very good player indeed. And of course, we do need someone on that right hand side, as all Man United fans are aware of. Of course, but he did say that Ed Woodward had identified 4 main summer targets, and a few names got mentioned. Douglas Costa was one of them. Obviously, Koulibaly is obviously the number 1 target, but that looks in jeopardy now anyway. That Atletico Madrid young star, Lucas Hernandez, got mentioned as well. That Lucas Hernandez, that Atletico Madrid player, I think he's called Lucas Hernandez. He began his career with Atletico Madrid. Since he's been at Atletico Madrid, he's won the Super Cup, the Europa League. He's capable of playing on the left-hand side. He can play as a central defender as well. Only 23 years of age. Reportedly got around the 70-odd million release clause as this player as well. And I think he's uncertain about his Atletico Madrid future. Is this Lucas Hernandez? I've actually never really heard of him until I heard about his name in the press last week. Of course, he's French as well. Only 23 years of age, so he's very, very young in his prime indeed. So yeah, I heard about that as well. Nikola Milkovic also got mentioned. You know, that Florentina young player, only 21 years of age. Nikola Milkovic is Serbian, is capable of playing as a central defender. Can also play on the right as well. He's very, very young. I think valued at around £30 million, something like that. Nikola Milkovic. I think last summer Manchester United, of course, were interested in that Milkovic as well. So his name got mentioned in the media. But obviously we know the major priority target for the summer, of course, is Koulibaly from Napoli, as we all know. But as I did give you an update on one of my recent videos the other day, to give you an update that reportedly our summer move now for Koulibaly looks in jeopardy after he has recently revealed that he's fully committed to Napoli. He's happy at Napoli. He does admit he's happy that he's attracting interest. He's Koulibaly. He's happy that he's getting this transfer interest, and he's happy that teams are monitoring him and following him. But I think he insists that he's happy at Napoli and he's Koulibaly, because we know definitely he would address our defensive deficiencies. We know that he's available. We know that he would cost us around £90-odd million, you know, to get him in the summer. But as I did say, I think he insists he's happy at Napoli. But obviously he's been our major priority target, because Man United were in talks in January of getting Koulibaly. In the process, we had 3 bids turned down. The most recent one was 95 million. We were obviously linked with him last summer as well, but we didn't get a deal over the line because Napoli were refusing to let him leave in the January transfer window. Of course, he's still got a contract with Napoli till 2023. As I said, as Koulibaly, he's still got a contract with Napoli till 2023. Napoli only paid £7 million for him, but he's grown, developed, he's flourished fantastically well. You know, his performances under Maurizio Sarri were good. Now his performances under Carlo Ancelotti have been absolutely phenomenal as well. And it would be good for him to experience the Premier League. But I think from his own perspective now, Koulibaly, he insists he's happy at Napoli. So we probably won't get him now in the summer. So we'll have to, you know, alterations and probably look for another central defender. And we've been linked with other central defenders as well, as I've been keeping you up to date on. You know, Alderweireld got mentioned. Harry Maguire's Leicester, we've been previously linked with him before. Eddie Militao got mentioned in January as well. You know, like youngster, 20 years of age for Porto as well. Only joined Porto last summer. Got a release clause of 40-odd million. He's got 4 years on his contract left, Eddie Militao. So he got mentioned as well. Who were the other ones that got mentioned? You know, there's been a few names that have currently been mentioned, as I said. But yeah, we'll see who we can get in the summer, as I currently said. But the main part of this video is to give you a bit of an update. Well, I was giving you an update on it on a regular basis yesterday. It came out, and the narratives were coming out about it, that reportedly Manchester United are looking to sell Romelu Lukaku in summer, and we are looking to replace Lukaku with us either getting Dybala from Juventus or Icardi from Inter Milan. There has been, the Italian press report, United have been in negotiation with both Juventus and Inter Milan. We've been in negotiation with both Juventus and Inter Milan over a potential Lukaku swap deal. So we're inquiring about, you know, swapping Lukaku for us to either get, you know, Icardi from Inter Milan or Dybala from Juventus. Lukaku has indicated he does prefer the move to Juventus, as we all know. We know we probably won't, as I did say at the beginning of the video, we won't recoup the £75 million, you know, we paid for Lukaku, but there could be a potential swap deal involved, you know, Lukaku going to Juventus and us getting Dybala, or Lukaku going to Inter Milan and Lukaku going to Inter Milan, or Lukaku going to Inter Milan and Icardi coming to Old Trafford, as I said. So there's been potential potential talks of a Lukaku swap deal, as I currently said, but we've indicated we want a replacement. We do want Dybala or Icardi, and they're very, very good players. As I said at the beginning of the video, they're both 25 years of age, so they're still young. They're flourishing fantastically well. You know, it would be good for one of them, you know, to come and experience the Premier League. You know, they're both Argentinian, as I currently said, Dybala and Icardi, and they are the two biggest names in English football. And obviously, they're both proven prolific goal scorers, and I think they'd be fantastic if one of them, you know, were to come to Manchester United. And one of them would be a great replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because they've both got pace, they can score goals, they lead the lines, you know, they're efficient finishing, the finishing's really, really good as well, and they do have that end product as well. And I think they complement our attacking line fantastically well, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So we'll see what happens about that. So yeah, we've lost patience now with Lukaku. We're looking to sell him in the summer, recoup some money, and we've been in discussions with Juventus Inter Milan over a potential Romelu Lukaku swap deal, meaning Manchester United are willing to offer Lukaku as part of a deal of us either getting Dybala or Icardi. That's what it mentions in the press, as I said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribe, as always.